Hello, I am Dr. Kayla Eldridge, and I am an advocate for children. I am married to Ron Eldridge. He is a middle school social studies teacher, and we have 3 adopted children, Juliana, Jackson, and Jace. 2 of them have IEPs, and then we also have our 2 fur babies, Willie, who is a 10-year-old mini dachshund, and Rico, who is a 6-year-old chihuahua. I am an educational audiologist turned instructional coach with ambitions to one day lead a special education department. I work at USD 260 or Derby Public Schools, where we have about 7,000 students with 9 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and a high school. I am currently working for the 2 middle schools for about 1,800 students. I've got the Derby Middle School Bulldogs and the Derby North Middle School Falcons. I am also still an audiologist for Wesley Medical Center during Christmas break and the summertime. So today we're going to talk a little bit about fiscal responsibilities of school principals. There's multiple schools of thought as to what a role the principal should play in budgeting, and I will be introducing a few of those concepts. So schools today are set up with minimal assistance from the federal government. Most of the funding and regulation is from the state or the local level. So we'll start at the federal level. According to the U.S. Constitution, governance of schools is the responsibility of individual states that are best equipped to recognize and meet the needs of the students in that state. That's according to Chin in 2022. We know that the state of Kansas does most of our governing of our budgets in the state of Kansas, and they have there's many legislation out there that says how we can utilize our school budget. There is also, on a local level, we do have a centralized budget, with Derby being the one who does our budget. So there's a growing trend where more and more districts are starting to recognize that it does not always make sense for the central office to make all the decisions, and maybe a principal does know what's best or needed most for the schools. That's according to Allaview with no date. However, for the most part, Derby does do their stuff with a centralized, but we do have a few things that we're able to do on a school level that would be a decentralized way of governing. So as far as student and adult success in schools, Baker is the author of a new report from the Learning Policy Institute that confirms what educators already knew to be true, that students do benefit from more funding. That's according to Barrett. Also, the Pew Research Center found that Americans trust K-12 principals more than any other authority figure to be caring and to provide fair and accurate information and to handle resources responsibly. That's from Franks and Nozo. The budget is vital because it helps to ensure that the school achieves its goals, establishes a control system, and motivates employees to work harder. That's per Petrick. And we know that students and educators' success is dependent on budgets. If the money isn't there, the students aren't going to thrive. As an instructional coach, I'm making data-informed decisions every day. As a future leader, I do know how important that is, to know that you must have the data to back up what you are asking for. We need to make sure that principals do not always rely on others for financial information. They need to know about school finances and that it's part of being a principal. If you don't know, you need to ask, according to educational leaders. Principals do tend to know what's best for their students and what they need or what is and isn't working. That's according to Rosa. And principals need to speak up for their students and being hyper clear on what the numbers say, according to Anderson. As far as equitable resources go, Strategic School Funding for Results, or SSFR, is a core reform strategy directed towards improving student learning through specific approaches with school funding, school government, and district support services, according to Chambers et al. We also have a decentralized budgeting model that can improve resource equity and empower principals to make decisions about the resources that best fit the needs of their students and school communities, according to Allaview with no date. And student-based budgeting, or SBB, goes by many names, including student-based allocations, fair student funding, weighted student funding, or student-centered funding. Regardless of its name, at its core, SBB is a funding system whereby dollars follow the student based on student need. That's per Chang in 2018. We know that there are laws, policies, and regulations for finance. So we have some common percepts about school funding that are familiar and fairly simple. Local, state, and federal governments each contribute a percentage, often based on providing a certain amount of money per student and meeting basic educational requirements, while asking schools to show that student progress, and that's per Patterson. It is in the best interest of schools and its students that its school leaders has a clear understanding of his or her role in the management of finances and the implementation of financial policies. That's Shakruna in 2018. We also know that at the state level, school finance formulas determine how dollars are allocated to districts, and virtually all of which contain allotments that are restricted for specific purposes, and that would be Smith. And we know that for sure in the state of Kansas. That's how we do it. Our district is very fortunate to have a supportive community for funding. We have had multiple bond issues voted yes to complete upgrades to our facilities. This allows us to use our budget for things other than basic infrastructure. The focus of the last bond issue was on safety and security and included shelters at every school, building a new elementary, and virtually rebuilding 2 other elementaries. We also have new restricted access at all of our locations. As I said earlier, we do have a centralized budget, although anyone can ask for something to be put into consideration for our budget priorities. Suggestions are given to our budget committee, and then they review and prioritize what is needed. Then the administration takes a look at what's feasible. After the bills are paid, there is never enough left to get all the extras, and that process seems to get cut short with many items being on that chopping block. These are the references that I used in providing my PowerPoint to you today. And a reflection of what I have learned. I learned about the role of the principal in the school finance process, and it's not always the same from district to district, but the concept is always there regardless of where the school is located. The assignment will help me to remember to look at the whole picture when looking at a budget. Though our district doesn't allow much control at the school building level, there is still a small budget at that level, and that responsibility of that budget does fall onto the principal. My concerns for being in charge of a school's budget are mostly about the people who are disappointed when things they want are not funded because there's never enough money to go around for all of the projects that are on the wish lists. I will need to remember that prioritizing the students is what's important. Thank you.